Welcome to Loleventvods. These are the best highlights of today's LEC 2025 matchup.
Can pick up your DPS, that can really help with that. Well, we'll see if there is important in League of Legends. Blue side Maokai loves fighting around this grub pit with this because if you look at just the way that the ult can kind of pen you against it, if you were in the grub pit, the ult comes across like, thanks, just waved across that. But you get the point.
They get the idea. Look, if you're in the pit, the roots come across, you get stuck in there and it's a bad time, yeah.
If you're stuck in the pit, the Maokai gets big value out of the ultimate. Turns out it's quite a good point with that one. And Movistar Koi don't really want anything to do with that. 3 grubs taken by BDS. Yay, they're on the board in terms of objective. Dragon's going to be started. Nuke's going to recall. He looks to teleport in. If they do want to fight, you can just leave elsewhere. They are walking up river, but are they going to do anything about it? I don't think so. Yoye, what do you think about this?
That's the Glacial Prison afterwards, and that means the Maokai going to be the target. Taken pretty low, but will turn around and look for a fight themselves. Massive ult into the W forwards. Forces the ult away from Jojo. And Ice picks up first blood on the Varus.
Oh, that lethal tempo adding so much extra damage. Not going to trace any further. Movistar Koi take the dragon, but they bite off more than they can. Later into the game. Grubs spawned again now. Movistar Koi maybe want to fight for this one and a bit more earnest. Didn't really contest the first ones. Onto it first. Rumble walking up does have that ultimate. Remember, BDS have a really good combo with that Maokai, the Renata, and of course the Equalizer.
Game stands pretty even right now. It may well not be after a few moments. 1-1-3 looking to step on forwards. It's brazen as brass, or I suppose a giant tree. Throws down the ultimate and Nature's Advance gets so much value. Jojo dead to rights and you can start bouncing around. Firefighter Tristana is setting more than she's turning off. Alvaro in danger as well, as put on the barbecue courtesy of Irrelevant. At least there's a dredge line that gets him out to safety, but BDS find 2 more kills. But it could have gotten a lot worse, and it still leads to a great start to BDS, who are...
Do you want to be there? That's a bit difficult. Irrelevance here. Yone does have ult and flash, but I don't think he's actually coming to help right now.
Blocking him, and again, dredge line blocked, and Nautilus is not exactly fast. He's being slowed down and donated a kill. Irrelevant picks up a kill on the Rumble.
Oh, have some chat.
Dragon is spawning in 35 seconds, but BDS saying, look, you can have that. We want to play for this turret topside instead, and Jojo very alone up here, and it is very, very dark. Not for long, though, as the tree comes in and says, surprise garden party! And Jojo is down for the count. Really clean Maokai play from BDS. They play around Koi. 1-1-3, the last time I saw him in LEC, back in 2022 on Astralis, he really struggled. This guy came in after a great stint in the ERLs over on Kami and Core. He has leveled up so much in this split. A lot of people didn't necessarily believe in him. And honestly, after regular split, there's an argument between him and Nuke for being best player on his team. We've got some teleports coming in from Nuke as they try and catch out Mirwin on the bot side. There might be a shuffle back from that ultimate. Choosing not to use it right now. Beats himself up with the Defiance. Oh, the flash read by Paris with the handshake, who flashed away from the Glacial Prison himself. Few summoners blown some help. Nearly 1,500 gold ahead. He was at 1.7, so I was about to round up generously for him. But realistically, 1,500 gold ahead is in a great spot on this Tristana, something we've not seen a huge amount of anywhere in the world right now.
Yeah, it's been fairly rarely picked, but this one's working out well. Gone for the Yuntile Wild Arrows first, an item that was buffed after one of the patches earlier in the season. And with the Renata being really good at empowering attack speed 80 carries, that applies to both the Varus and the Tristana. Both of them being ahead, good amount of gold, getting towards 1 to 2 items, not something which Movistar Koi really wanted to deal with. So let's talk about it from Movistar Koi's perspective. They've kind of been locked in. Good lane bully, has the Malignance being a damage threat, and you can start to shield someone like the Yone to allow them a little bit extra time to go through. You can try and shield someone like the Ezreal to survive as well, and the Sawajrani all over the wall.
Glacial Prison onto the Maokai, not the easiest target to take down, but will still likely be in a spot. A bot that has to flash away, throws down the ult themselves, and there's the Equalizer after onto Super, who's rooted up on top of the fire, just about surviving, but that's left the side laner out to dry. Mirwin goes down. Irrelevant flashes in to kill Super as well. Will surely fall out, but he's got a bailout. Can try and keep him alive. No, finally goes down, but Jojo is an additional price. Movistar Koi gets a kill finally, but it is not much.
A lot of things with that. You see that might go towards Saras. That's an ult from Jojo, dodged out of by Nuke.
Ooh, good buster shot after. Now Jojo's in danger. The explosive charge just having flashes for a bit more, trying to get some more. Hop forward, Jojo with a solo kill. Mortal Steel is stronger than the Yordle.
Who cares up for that first death of the game? Jojo, not necessarily the easiest split for him so far. We had high expectations of him, but that one is definitely something which Movistar Koi would have wanted at this point in the game.
2 and 3, trying to come back on in. Does it against Nuke as well. It's a key person to take out.
This
that
is huge.
shutdown
Push out
lead.
mid lane and try and going up the river instead. BDS kind of just saying, no, don't take the easy entrance. Go back through the tri-brush. It's better for us.
There's been a little bit of changes to Atakan, as it said, but obviously the fight about to start off over it.
Oh!
That tri-brush tries to be poor, but a huge true shot barrage. Gets a big chunk. The hostile takeover, though, is brutal in turn. And Nuke counts off Alvaro, and they get back to that Atakan.
Both teams just
a little bit
too far. But that is why the setup for the Atakan around the tri-brush is so important.
Round 2, let's go. BDS right back to where they started off. Still got control of that tri-brush. Saplings in there. MCoy coming on over to try and fight this, but I think it might already be dead.
They don't have the big ultimates. They don't have the big ultimates, but there is going to be no chance of getting it. They arrive too late.
Alvaro flashes away, slowed down by that sapling.
They had a chance to go towards it, but BDS, they calm down. They use the next round of ultimates. Now they have really good ability to force a fight like this.
W113 goes on him with the twisted advance. Mirwin will likely fall as the explosive charge on top of him. Bailout comes on top, and Nuku does get withdrawn. They get 2 as Jojo finds a good angle. Ice not here as it stands. Elyoya falls down as Paris and 113 finish the job there. Still strictly a 3v3. They'll get one more, but these withdrawals are getting swiftly whittled down. Jojo's picking most of them up, and BDS fumble the Atakan, shove in pretty catastrophic fashion.
Yeah, normally you want wards on your way back. Go take the dragon.
We'll head back to this, and it feels like Movistar Koi just saying we'll play towards the other side of the map. Remember, Baron spawning in 3 odd seconds, and it is Movistar Koi with control of that part of the map. How bold are they feeling? They don't want to overforce, but they do have control there. Dragon secured, but for now I'm just going to confidently say no.
No, you don't have to tell us. It's not relevant now. We're past it anyway. BDS going to walk forwards. 113 losing a lot of his HP, but he's in a tanky tree.
Sap magic and unending despair. He does not care at all. Nuke gets a kill. Super being slowed down by the Electro Harpoon. Cleanses it. It just doesn't matter. He's burning out. Down to about 5% HP as the Fate Seal goes wide, and Jojo now left up in the mid lane will force Relevant to go gold as the upgraded Q ability from Karma. Not going to be used. Then they head straight back over towards the Baron. The man advantage is currently BDS's.
So a lot of tools used. Movistar Koi, they don't really have anything left to retake the pit here. BDS, they can tank this up for forever with the Maokai. They are teleporting, but there aren't that many tools left. Nuke jumping out.
True shot barrage in a dream. Can look for an angle on in here. Jojo unbind the soul, finds an angle, looks for Q1, unbinds the soul, can look for a big angle on in. 113 buying time though. Baylor comes on the ring, Irrelevant is dead. BDS now in danger as they're split apart. Nuke needs to reset, does have TP, can't quite have it happen as 113 split off from the team. Sap Magic healing is decent, but not enough. And now this is giving Movistar Koi a moment where BDS are split apart to look towards the Baron. They're also low. One reset does come on through. Teleport now back from Nuke. 3v5. BDS are going to have to try and play this one out as MCoy aren't exactly high HP either. Where is this one going? Alvaro looks for the hook, lands it onto Paris. Perhaps not the easiest target, but a big knocker for Jojo. Baylor comes on through and Paris likely dies. Survives by rebinding his soldiers. Jojo. Ice trying to trade this one out, gets one back potentially. Does get one, but he's on top of the Soul Flare. And Movistar Koi against all odds find themselves an ace. Back to Baron though, and Movistar Koi couldn't take it in the break.
Yeah, and remember this time they actually have their ultimates. The Maokai goes in again.
Gold lead has been shrunk, but it's still very much BDS favor. Now Elyoya is the one who's being caught out. The Sejuani is roast pork. Pick that one up. The depth charge comes on through. Hostile takeover onto Super. Just eat away from Paris. Bailed out, but will fall. Not enough money to bring that business back from the brink. Alvaro hooks on in and will swiftly regret it. Double hop this time as Mirwin is taken down by Nuke. Super goes over the wall, but it's Foster shot out. Jojo looks for an angle. Has unbound the soul. Equalizer keeps Super pinned into that choke point, but will not take the blow.
A lot of heart still stacks. Yep, that'll help. 342 so far. No, that's Sejuani's got much less. Jojo going forwards though. That is not as tanky to the Yone with the Infinity Edge.
They get a big chunk onto 113 with the Glacier Prison lands. Going to be onto Paris who throws down the Locket Shield, the hostile takeover, and Nature's Grasp burned.
That's a lot of tools used effectively for BDS. They throw out a lot of that big line space-denying tools, and now Movistar Koi say, okay, that's a lot of that gone. Let's go towards the Baron ourselves. BDS realize, okay, there's not much we can do about this. Baron are half HP, and I think they might have to give up the approach.
Baron going to be starting taken down. No way in for BDS, and now Movistar Koi turn for the fight. Fate sealed used. Going to be Jojo locked up though and taken out just shy. And it's his own fate that ends up being sealed. Mirwin now in danger, being run down by the Rumble, and Nuke, who can hop over the wall. Both solo laners from Movistar Koi might be the penance they pay for taking the Baron. Minions starting to do a lot of work. They're trying to make sure that this Karma, who can run real fast with Defiance, may may get an execute. I don't know. There's not been a lot of damage on it so far. Trying to reset. Wait, powered recall, not enough. New comes forward and gets the kill.
Another game of hide and seek cut short. BDS somehow managed to catch out Jojo. Jojo whiffs another ultimate, even with that big Infinity Edge. Just goes straight into the back of BDS. That does mean Dragon goes to BDS. Movistar Koi will have the Baron buff on 3 members. Mirwin and Jojo, if you're not going to have them, we'll see what they can do with that. Up against some very late game carries, as you were saying just before.
And the gold lead after that turret went down finally becomes positive for Movistar Koi. Looking for an engage now onto this Maokai. 113 low, but not down. Gets a decent ult. Paris was to target the Glacial Prison, but again, Movistar Koi can't turn it around and do it. I think the equalizer dissuades Super and crew from stepping on forwards because the barbecue was a little too hot.
Really, really nasty. Irrelevant, feeling a bit of the sting of that one.
GA just completed for Jojo. Teleports back in. 113 goes very deep. Immediately throws down Nature's Grasp to get something down. Big chunk back. Jojo finally hits it all, but is immediately burned out. Gets a huge chunk back. 113 burning up with the bailout. The GA prevents his reset. Hostile takeover comes across, but look who's been picked off. It's Nuke. He's eviscerated. Jojo kills his man.
The bomb's been disarmed, the Tristana hits the ground, and Movistar Koi might just have been able to play the slow game well enough to walk forwards for at least an inhibitor. 40 seconds on the Tristana is enough for them to take control of the map, but not enough to end the game. This has put them into the gold lead, though. They've managed to trouble their way out, puzzle their way.
With the GA prevents the reset with bailout and then finds his person. We've been criticizing him for not hitting his ult. Finds some key ones there. Is currently soloing the Dragon irrelevant. Finds a lot of people, but actually the rest of BDS coming over to try and play this, but suddenly they're all being caught out. Movistar Koi collapse to BDS. What was the decision making there? Ice in a 1v3 won't get anyone with him. He tries. And the respawns will come on through for Nuke on 113, but it's a trade for the rest of the team.
BDS try and sneak their way towards the Dragon, but all they find is doom. Dragon goes over to Movistar Koi. It's not Soul, but it's so many kills on top of it that BDS harder to play out from Movistar Koi because BDS had a great foothold and a great composition to deny areas of the map. They go from Dragon, they go over towards Baron, and with the death time is still pretty high from BDS, they can't fight this. The best they can look for is a steal. Ice not on the map, they'll have to let it go. Don't want to lose another death for nothing.
Second Baron coming on through, and BDS were up 5,000 gold. Blink and you miss it. It's now 3,000 gold to Movistar Koi. They've got Soul Point, they've got a second Baron. To the Ezreal, who's got this huge AP and power shields at this point. Alvaro, though, going to be the target, hit with the Chains of Corruption, immediately taken out. Nuke and Ice, though, get blasted by a Mantra Q. Jojo to the backside. Bailout on Ice will not be enough, and they just get 3! Karma for 2. Jojo and Super help with the rest. Alioya will step on forward with an Arctic Assault and get another. Nuke's got to try and pull off something, and there is just nothing to be found. He digs deep, and the well is dry. Movistar Koi made to work for it in Game 2, but work hard they do, and it will be a 2-0 to the Spanish Org.
The 2-0, 1 domination, 1 they had to do a bit of problem solving for, but that they did. BDS